Hello PPs, aka plant peoples. Today I'm going to go through a houseplant tour and also tropicals and Ecuagenera plant imports. I haven't had much experience with acclimating plants and also importing, but this time I wanted to try it on my own. I definitely did order way more plants to try and acclimate. I don't really know much about acclimating, but how I do it is that I take all my plants out of its packaging. I actually leave it in its moss, but what I do is I spray it down with insecticide and I just clean all the leaves, make sure there's no pests on them, and just really thoroughly inspect before I put it away in a bin. I know some people like to just soak the roots, and I feel like that's probably a better idea, but honestly when I saw these plants they look pretty well hydrated still, so I actually just watered directly onto the moss that it came in. My rationale behind leaving it in the moss for now is because the plant has already been through so much stress, and if it's potted like this nicely from tropicals, I don't see a reason why I should pull it out of the moss. Just because the plant has traveled so far and it's already stressed as is, so I'd rather just clean it off and then stick it in a bin and let it acclimate a little bit before I start touching the roots. But of course I wouldn't do this with Ecuagenera just because they package their plants differently. So the first plant I got is an Anthurium Rocquianum wide form. The second one is a Pastazanum Silver Naive. And I have a Verragata with white stripes, I think. And the Bessier that I got, I have two. One is a CF, and the second one should be a Nintenza. I'm not too sure. But in between we have a Serpens, which I added last minute because I just love the fuzzy petioles. And yes, this is I believe it's the Bessier Nintenza. So my Pastazanum was pretty big even though I asked for a small one. So not saying that I have a problem with it, but I had to support it with a pole. Once you're done with everything, I did place all the plants into the bin and pop the lid closed. You do want to open it every day just to have some new air come in. I did also change the substrate for my Gloriosum from Ecuagenera. I just added some perlite, orchiata, and sphagnum moss. Okay, so these are my newest imports. I did just recently move some, so I'm just running out of space in here. Oh man, look at this Bessier. Oh, look at how it glimmers, so beautiful. But yeah, I can't wait to actually get these out. I don't know if it'll fit on my shelf. As you can see, my shelf is very limited on space. This is the 3-week mark, and you can see some roots coming out of the moss. I will repot it. The only plant that I got from Ecuagenera was only the Gloriosum Zebra. I did get 2 of them just because I was scared I'd kill one of them. They seem to be doing okay. It's sporting a new growth, but they have been dropping leaves. So, I mean, it's normal and part of the process when you're importing, but I don't know. I've never had an issue with Ecuaflora or tropicals. None of my plants, fingers crossed, have lost any leaves. For example, this is I think SP Columbia. I have not even taken it out of its own pot when I got it, and this is from tropicals. Finally, I guess it's acclimated, and it's growing a new leaf. Like, isn't that beautiful this is? Anyways, my second Gloriosum is actually sitting right here. This is the newest leaf that has grown outside of the higher humidity. I was a little impatient with this one because I really wanted this one to unfurl outside. As you can see, this one's probably yellowing. Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, that's what it's doing right now. It's just sitting on my shelf. Oh, and one more actually. This is also from Ecuagenera. It's a McDowell AFF, which means, I think, affini, which also means similar. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious how this one will show up because honestly, it doesn't really look like a McDowell to me. Okay, so I took my bessie out of its moss and look at how juicy these roots are. Udon noodles. Like, and this chunk has a couple of auxiliary nodes, but I think I'm gonna see if it'll root. If it roots, then I'll chop it, but I'm not that ballsy yet. Okay, moving on to the houseplant tour. This is my recently revamped plant shelf. Near the entrance where my shoe cabinet is, I do have my snake plants. And this is my favorite exotica, just chilling around in my Wally grow. It was actually really hard to get into the wall because our building is made with steel framing, so yeah, it was a struggle. But look at this thing. This is still hardening and it's the size of my hand. It's great. Okay, and so this is what I have in the kitchen area. I do have an olive tree. I have a gloriosum in a Wally grow. I'm not really sure where I want to put it. I have joy here. I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to keep this one. Totally underwatered it, so it's browning up on me. And then I have my cabinet. I should have bought a bigger cabinet, but this is what I have for now. I do have some new imports in here. These are custom made. I'll link it on the description box below where I got it from. But yeah, this is huge. I am in the process of making a video for my cabinet build. It's my very first cabinet, so I have all the supplies and sellers that I purchased from to make this cabinet, so don't you worry, it's coming. This also isn't the finished cabinet, it's just temporary where I'm just needing the space to acclimate. Over by the TV, I have my Raven ZZ plant, and on the other side, I have a Mandula plant, and then a Mayoi that I'm rooting in water, and another Mandula. Yes, I like them very much. This is the Ficus Triangularis Verragata, which I just took out of my cabinet. Yes, it's probably gonna go through some shock because the humidity in there was about 70 to 80%, compared to out here, it's about 40. So, I mean, you guys all know how fussy it is. I mean, it seems to be okay. It's not losing any leaves, but fingers crossed, I hope it'll grow because there's a couple new growths happening, so we'll see what happens. If not, then peace to this guy here. Okay, so pause for a second. This has been out here for I think a week now or 2 weeks. I wanted to give a little update. Okay, so nothing, fingers crossed still, but I still have not lost any leaves. Okay, so her plant story on Instagram, she actually told me the key for this plant is very consistent watering and very consistent light. And so yeah, I think it's pretty true because it's getting the daylight. I'm southeast facing, so it looks to me that it's been enjoying the low humidity but the consistent lighting right now. So I'm just watering this plant maybe once every 3 days. It's really dry in here, so yeah, this is what it looks like right now. Okay, a little irrelevant, but I wanted to show you my fake live greenery wall here. I got this from Rona, I believe, and then for the flooring we got some turf, and those things are from Home Depot, I believe. Ignore the lights. It's a work in progress. But yeah, we moved in December, so everything was still cold, and thankfully the weather is warming up now, so can't wait to have that set up. I might get some plants and put some outside, and that's a little begonia. When I first started making this video, I really wanted to capture what it looked like during sunset, golden hour, but of course when I took out my camera and wanted to record, the sun went away. But finally I got a shot of it, and this is what it looks like during sunset. We have now reached the end of the video. Those who made it this far, thank you for sticking around and watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.